Good evening. I'm here to talk about what happened last weekend in El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio. Two major tragedies that killed a lot of people. 20 in El Paso, Texas, 9 in Ohio. What laws on the books would have stopped this mass shooting? None. They know that. All the anti Americans know that. Right after those shootings, pressure was put on Republicans to pass reasonable gun control, which doesn't exist. What laws, like I said, would have stopped on the book or would have stopped these shootings? Zero. They're talking about universal background checks, red flag laws, etc. Red flag laws have to do with a private court hearing from, let's say, it could be a coworker. In some states, it could, and family members basically throughout the rest of the United States. Um, they go to a court. The judge issues a warrant after they say this person's crazy. The police go and take the guns. No due process laws. Violate your Second and Fourth Amendment rights. And it can get people killed. One man in Maryland died as a result of a false red flag claim. Universal background checks means virtually you have to register your gun, and all the sales will have to be done through an FFL, and you'll probably have to pay a fee. We need to stop these laws before they go into effect. Call your congressman, congresswomen, the president, the governor, be respectful, be kind, etc. A lot of good channels that I will mention that can break down these stuff and do important info. Our military arms channel, IV 8888, Mr. Guns and Gear, Reed Hendricks of Valor Ridge, Hank Strange, The Gun Collective, Guns and Gadgets, and Kudo Boy 32 Tactical. You guys do a good job on your channels at making the videos and live streams, and you explain what's happening. Good for you guys. They are talking about banning assault weapons, which don't exist. The term assault rifle does. That's a that's a rifle that has select fire from semi-auto to full auto. AR-15s look like assault rifles, but they are not, as they don't have the switch to become full auto. This is an SKS. This is a semi-automatic rifle. This here does not have the features of an assault rifle in the anti-gunner, anti-American view. Like if I had a semi-automatic AK, they would call that an assault rifle because of the way it looks, not the way it functions. They want them banned. They want all guns, but they know they can't get them all at once, so they're gonna go piece by piece. First, it's your ARs, Glocks, etc. Then it'll come for guns that don't shoot 22s. Then they come for your 22s and your shotguns. Gun owners, wake up. Call. Just because maybe you don't want to own a machine gun or you don't really care about ARs, don't fall asleep on this. This here is how we got a lot of laws passed. The NFA, the 1968 Gun Control Act, the 1986 Hughes Amendment, which was part of good legislation, the 1994 assault weapons ban, which did nothing. And now they want to introduce more laws. No laws on the books would stop none of these mass shootings. The Dayton, Ohio shooter was supported Elizabeth Warren next year. He was a Bernie Sanders supporter. That's why the media won't talk about him. We'll put him on, make him famous. I won't mention the shooters' names. I don't do that. because that will get the next lunatic to go out there to give himself fame for days. I don't want that. I'm sick of these mass shootings. I'm sick of politicians telling us what's good for us when they don't know anything. Right now, throughout the country, I'm keeping up with laws. I'm working split shifts and I get off and I just get on and I try to see what's happening state by state, not just here in Ohio, but throughout the whole country. And that's hard on me. I have to keep in contact with the YouTubers, see what's happening in their states, to see what I can talk about on here too. Right now is a good time to get gun owners throughout the whole country to come together. I don't care if you're just a hunter or a sports shooter. We need to discuss how to stop these laws peacefully. We got voting means. We can call and put pressure on everyone. As of now, gun owners are asleep thinking, "Oh, Trump's going to save us." No, he's not. He's actually doing this. Now, he's not the only one doing. He's not being backed by himself. He's got Congress on him, and he has the NRA telling him on this. That's why I dropped the NRA. I burnt my NRA hat because of their corruption. I joined Gun Owners of America. No compromise group. I highly recommend joining them if you're watching this video. Also, last weekend there was a shooting in Chicago, which won't get any coverage because Chicago has the toughest gun laws on the books. Yeah, that's why they don't cover it. They don't want people to know because of their tough gun laws that they will start waking up saying, you know what, these gun laws aren't working. We're going to vote for people who will protect the Second Amendment. And that's what we need. Also, if you want, like I said, call your Congress, call your senators, state and federal. Email the president. Be respectful. Tell him you oppose all the laws. Here's a few Republican turncoats that I will mention. Mike Turner out of the 10th District of Ohio, which includes Dayton. Our Governor, Mike DeWine. Lindsey Graham has Republicans supporting red flag laws along with the president. We need to call and urge them that these red flag laws are a violation and they cannot be passed. We also need to stop universal background checks. What's wrong with having universal background checks, you may ask? Like I said, you had to have to register all your firearms so the government knows you have them. You'd have to take them to an FFL just to do the transfer and do a fee. You cannot just go up and take. I could take my SKS right now, go up to my cousin and say, "Here, I'll sell you this for $500. I need some money." Okay, I hand him the gun. He hands me the money. That's it. If we did it with universal background checks, we'd have to go find a local dealer. You'd have to do the background check. I'd have to pay the $30 fee. And then once it comes back that he's clear, he gets the gun and the government knows he has it now. That's what's dangerous about red or universal background checks. It's complete registration. Okay? They want you to register all your guns. Then after the next mass shooting, and they go, well, we need to take all your guns away because of this. That ain't gonna happen. I'm not gonna register my guns. I'm not gonna follow anything these idiots out there say. They are the ones who will take your guns, make you do what they say, and that's why the Second Amendment's in place. We want to keep our government in check. Am I calling for a civil war? Absolutely not. Am I calling for a revolution? Not at the moment. Right now, we got peaceful means. We vote, we petition, we write, we call. That is the way to go. I don't want to have another war in this country that can divide us. No. Even with the laws on the books, that could push people over the edge. But right now, even with the laws, just call, petition, do what I said. That is the way to go. We need a Second Amendment. We don't need a background check. We should be allowed to own machine guns without paperwork. We should be allowed to own bazookas, howitzers, and all that stuff without going through special paperwork. But you know what? I follow the laws on the books because that's what law-abiding citizens like me do. I personally have no use for a machine gun. If I was around when the 1986 Hughes Amendment was in place, I would be calling and urging people to oppose that law because every law that passes is less freedom for us. Julie Morrison from Illinois had told someone in a meeting that she changed her mind. They want to register guns and said, well, if you don't register, you'd have to pay a fee. She immediately said, well, you've changed my mind. We may come and confiscate. Yeah, do it and see what happens. People will open up, and I'm not calling for this out like I want it, but do that, and you're going to see that it's not going to be pretty. People love their guns, they love freedom. We want peace. I want peace. I don't want to go to war with my neighbor because we disagree on stuff. We need to have peaceful means right now. We can vote, write, and petition. That is what our founding fathers did. They didn't want to go to war with England. They wanted nothing more than to be free Englishmen in the colonies back in the 1700s. Well, after they started getting taxed to death, they started training throughout the Virginia and Massachusetts countryside. And after Lexington and Concord, in April 19th of 1775, the first shot heard, that meant the revolution began. It took years, but we finally succeeded from Great Britain and became a free nation. Our founding fathers, when they wrote the Second Amendment, it says a well regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. All the laws on books, infringement. Now, like I said, I can get by without a machine gun, but that's my own personal opinion. I don't believe in Hughes. I don't believe in the NFA. I don't believe in the Gun Control Act. All that is illegal. We need people to come together peacefully, start rallies. If you're from Ohio, go to Columbus, go to the state capitol House of Columbus, rally out there. Show Mike DeWine that we will not give up. Also, there could be a march on Washington, a peaceful march to say no more gun control. We love our guns and we love our country and we love our freedom. That's it. We have peaceful means. I don't want a dictatorship in this country. I want it to be a capitalistic country, not that is free, not a communist socialist state where the government can tell us what we can and cannot have. That's up to the individual, not the government. The, the Second Amendment is to keep the government in check, not for hunting, not for shooting sports. I call the AR 15 not a modern sporting rifle, but a modern militia rifle. Yeah, because we are the militia, and I think modern militia rifle fits the definition of an AR 15. Semi automatic AK, Glock, SIG, pistols like that are all modern military militia arms, along with my surplus guns, my Carcano, my Mauser, my Lee Enfield, my Chinese SKS, and my Mosin Nagant are all modern militia rifles. I may not be much of a handgun guy, but I'm going to get a few handguns someday. I might get an AR and maybe an AK, but my true passion is milsurps. Now, does that mean that I would go out and say, "Oh, who needs a stupid Glock when you have a cool 1911?" Well, not all people like 1911s. Not all people are big on milsurps, but you know what? I respect their opinion because that's what we do. We can disagree, we can agree. That is what freedom is. Not saying, "Oh, you're wrong." That ain't what it is. And right now, we got a huge fight ahead of us. Keeping up with everything going statewide and nationwide is exhausting, but we need to do it. We need to keep up and call and put pressure on these people to leave the Second Amendment alone and do not put any more gun control laws on the books. Anyway, everyone, you have a great night, and I will be on here again soon with more updates.